Hey guys, so welcome to this video on the delete statement in T-SQL or Transact-SQL or SQL Server, depending on how you refer to this subdomain of query language. So yeah, let's just jump right into the delete statement. I'll pull up a slide with a definition and some syntax. So basically the delete statement, as the name would suggest, is used to delete records or rows of data from a table that resides in a database. In this case, the SQL Server database, right? So, and looking at the syntax, it's quite a simple statement. You've got basically just the delete from keywords followed by the table name from which you want to delete the rows, and then you've got a where keyword to sort of specify the condition according to which you want data to be deleted. And what I mean is, you want to specify a condition wherein if the row matches that condition or meets that specific criterion, that row needs to be deleted from the table. So it's important that you be specific with your condition. If you're just looking to delete one row of data, you might want to just point to the primary key of that row. We'll look at primary key a little in detail later on, but once we jump into the demo, you'll understand what I'm saying. So let's just set up the environment. Here I'm using Azure Data Studio, which is the tool to use SQL Server on Mac. Those of you on Windows can use SQL Server Management Studio or any other SQL Server tool. Just the important thing to know is that everything is the same. It's just the UI that is a bit different. The code, the logic, syntax, everything is the same, so don't worry about that. And apart from that, I will link to this GitHub repository, which contains two .SQL files, one with basically the table setup information. So you've got a create statement and the create table command, and you've got some data to be inserted, which is the same data I'm going to be working on, so you can follow along. If you just copy and paste this data into your SQL Server tool, you can follow along. And then I've got a delete demo.sql, which is basically just the queries that I'm using today. If you're confused by them and you want to see them written down somewhere so you can copy and paste them, they'll be here in this delete demo.sql file. So let's jump into the demo. So yeah, let's just say I wanted to delete a very specific user, and in this case it could be just the first user. Why not? His first name is Darren, his last name is Ishaki, and he's got email, gender, IP address, age, country. So you want to look for the primary key condition. And what a primary key condition is, or a primary key column, is a column where the data will always be unique pertaining to that row. So an email, if you just think about it, no two people can have the same email, right? So the email would be a great condition to specify if you want to delete just one row of data. Gender wouldn't work because there could be multiple age genders, females, males, non-binary. So you can't specify it based on gender or age or country or credit card provider or currency. Here we have an alternate option, which is actually the IP address. And if you know anything about networking technologies, in most cases the IP address will always be unique. It's not as unique as an email, but it should be unique in most situations. But here let's just stick and try the IP address because we've not used that in a where condition before this. So we want to try deleting Darren from this table. So what we do is we do the delete and then the from keywords, then we specify the table name, which is sample data here, and then we can do a where condition, and then we specify where IP address, which is the column name of the IP address data type of the column containing IP address data. So if we do IP underscore address, and then we equate it to the specific IP address. In this situation it's a string, so we'll have to use the single quotes. So now when we run this, we should see one row affected. We see one row affected, and now let's call the data back and see if it worked. So that is the first row of data, so Darren shouldn't be present anymore. So let's run this select star and see if he's gone from the table. Yep, so as you can see, we've got Darren deleted from the table. Now it starts with ID 2. So Let me just show you why you have to be specific with the where condition that you use in your delete statements. So suppose we had used a common condition like where gender is equal to male, and now what do you think happens? So I'm sure you would have guessed that all the rows of data where gender is male would be deleted. And if you thought that, you're absolutely right. So we've got 37 rows affected, which means 37 rows of data have been deleted. So now when you look at the ID, you can see 3 is missing, 5, 6, 7 is missing, 13 is missing, 16 is missing, 21, 22, 20. Yeah, so we're just missing a lot of data because we didn't specify a unique condition to a single row. And we used a condition where multiple rows of data in the table would be satisfied. In some situations, you might want to delete multiple rows of data based on a condition. Then well and good. But if you're just looking to delete a single row of data, be very specific with your conditions. And another, just to let you guys know, if you do the delete from keyword and then specify the table name, and you don't specify a where clause, what happens is every table matches the condition, and so there will be no more data left in the table. We've just got the table structure with no rows of data left in it because we didn't specify a condition. So be very careful when using these commands like the delete or the update, which we looked at in the last video. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe,